When you light up, yeah, lights all over me.
I know it seemed like I turned my back, but it's far from true. How could I ever turn my back on the chosen few? So what I do, look at me. In a picture was bittersweet. I did it for hours. What's going on, man? It's your boy Train. Here we are again on another topic, on another show, rather, of the Transition Talk Show. I am your host, Train. Today, man, we'll be having a visitor kick in today with us and being join in on us on a couple of talks. Also, even y'all begin to realize that y'all can call in on this show. That's something that was different from in the past. So you can call in. We'll be having that number constantly being posted, constantly being shown. So as you see it, something that you feel like you want to say or you want to jump in, just feel free to jump in. Today, man, we have Teldrick Morgan who will be joining us, who has Elite 19 Elite. Also, he's a trade. He does trade. He also he does a couple of things, man. I'll let him tell you more about himself as we get into the show and everything. But introduce yourself, Teldrick. How you doing, man?
Going on, bro? Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you good.
Yeah, how y'all doing, man? My name is Teldrick Morgan. I'm a day trader. I also have a car rental company that I'm now about to start. It's called 19 Elite. I also own a clothing brand, which you can see here. It's named TDM, which is pretty much my, initials and things like that. So, um, yeah, I've been trading for about 3 years now. I day trade, crypto stocks, NFTs. I also have a Discord, free, for the community. So um, it's definitely a good deal.
Man, this part of the show, man, is all about raise the vibe. So, man, tell us a little bit, man, what got you into doing what you're doing now. Like I know you played football and everything. You had, dreams set on going into the NFL. You actually had, your time with the 49ers. So, man, tell us a little bit about it.
It's been a long road, man. Just like Nipsey said, man, it's a marathon. I would say football is my love. It was my passion. You know what I mean? But as once you get within the constraints of everything and just playing and just going through I would say politics, it just get hard. It's not a sport anymore. It's just straight business. You know what I mean? So me just taking that and just shifting the paradigm a little bit, just learning more about business. I got interested in it. You know what I mean? A couple of my friends, close friends from college, they got me on the business aspect of everything. So I actually got introduced to trading about 3 years ago. And when I say trading, I mean forex, the foreign exchange market.
Right.
Uh, got into stocks, got into cryptos, started looking at that on my own, um, and also just got in the mix of just finding mentors. You know what I mean? You can't get to where you want to go without a mentor, and I just been big on listening. You know what I mean? Before I speaking. Of course, networking is gonna be your best friend, but I was just big on listening because my main thing was I only know football. Like I said, football is my passion.
Right.
So um, once you don't get to that stepping stone of where you want to be, sometimes you have to change your focal point. You know what I mean? It was just for me, it's about learning business. Taking care of my family, generational wealth. That was the biggest thing for me.
Man, when you just said something that was important, you said you had to get you some mentors. Uh, the mentor that you got, exactly, in what areas, man, did you look for them for?
Um, for trading, I had to find the best mentor. So I actually found that, and I want to say the biggest thing, I had to humble myself because, as some of you may know, but some of you may not know, I'm 30 years old now. My mentor is only 24 years old. So I went in there like, dang, man, okay, what these young boys know? You know what I mean? But you got to be open minded.
Right.
So I definitely have to, take that approach to be open minded, and that took me a year because once you're in that football phase, it's just straight, grind, 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 like me. Of course you're gonna have that team aspect. You feel what I'm saying? But football brings you a different character. You know what I mean? And you really have to put that work in. I don't want to say it's an individual sport because it's teamwork, but working out and going on that path that some might go on, you start to become individual after a while because
Right.
sometimes you're just working out by yourself. You know, you don't have people around you to help you out and things like that. So as far as like the trading aspect, I had to humble myself because I would have never thought somebody that was younger than me was going to teach me how to become successful in something. And I also had to get another mentor, just um, for my mind, man. Like somebody that can help with your emotions, and that was actually you. You know what I mean? We have today. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you got to get your mental right for sure. You got to get your mental right.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people don't understand, what I mean, how important that it is that you actually get your mindset together. We say mental, but I always tell people when you think of mental, think of a man tool. So if I'm gonna have a man tool, I have to realize that I must be that best man tool, you know what I mean, for myself in order for something to work at its best for me. So, that what allows the mind to now become free and allowed to be able to see the visions that we have or the pictures that we have that we want to be able to see ourselves in and actually bring that to the forefront. So,
Right.
the stronger our mindset is, the more that we work at it every day. And, it's like with me, a lot of people who I may coach, I may talk to, these things are on a day to day thing. It's like
Right.
you develop that relationship, you develop that accountability with one another. You develop these type of things that pushes each other to the next phase within themselves. So that's really what we have done with each other. So I mean, I even applaud you even for saying it, even calling me a mentor, you know, but because you like little bro. Um,
Yeah.
so that's real cool to even hear, man, especially doing the things that you're doing right now. And still, man, making man high strides in life. Especially with your car company that you're coming out with, 19 Elite. All
Right.
these things came after the fact of you actually having dreams on doing one thing, but life shifts you in another way. And in
Yeah.
the midst of that way, rather than getting tossed within a storm, you learn how to swim. So these are things that we have mentors in life for, to be able to help us, man, better guide ourselves, into where we actually supposed to be going. Because just because something didn't happen one way doesn't mean that what's going to happen not going to happen.
Correct.
Because the ultimate, like, put it like this, I had dreams, playing football, right?
Hmm.
But my goal of playing football was to accumulate financial freedom. So that was the actual goal, financial freedom. I just seen football as a vehicle to get me there. So now when I understand that, that vehicle had crashed, it wrecked, it played out, it doesn't mean that the goal changed. It was just
Right.
meant that it was going to be another vehicle that was gonna get me there.
Right.
And these are the things that we find out in which that we do now today, that still elevates us in what we're doing that's getting us to our goal.
Right.
Yeah. So man, what else been new, outside of the car company, outside of you doing your marketing, what else you been doing, that shows, a different side of you than what you knew. See, I know
Oh,
everything, so I could tell it all for you. You know what I mean? So I know everything, but I'm trying to let you say it for yourself. You know what I mean? So, but like I say, I know you've been coaching. Tell me a little bit about that.
um, man, it's just finding a balance, man. And like we talk every day. So for me, it was just finding a balance. And I always go back to this point, man. Like football was all I knew. You know what I mean? It wasn't coaching. It wasn't, giving back. Of course, obviously, I'm a genuine dude. You know what I mean? I'm always gonna help the community, but it's humbling, man. Like when you're at a stage where you've been, like I would say that I was one of the best players, in college football. You know what I mean? And once you're not there anymore, it's like, okay, you got to take a step back and reevaluate, your life. But to answer your question, man, coaching is going good. Like I would have never thought that I was going to be in this position. But it's definitely like a stepping stone to that, that next level. Since I'm not playing right now, just being around the game of football, helping kids, giving back to the community, man, is great. Like it's a learning curve for me because it's something that I never thought I was going to do. So helping the kids and just seeing their numbers, whether it's in the weight room or our training and conditioning, just seeing them doing better each and every day, asking questions. It's like, dang, like, there are people around here, out here that's really going to listen and just take that approach. You know what I mean? And just me just having gained myself and I can just get back to the kids, man.
Right. Hey, hold that thought for a minute. We finna go to a quick break. We're gonna do a video, then we're gonna come right back. Y'all stay tuned.
Would you look at this? It's a half-pint film, bitch! Yeah. Hold up, man. Get out my way, man. Yeah, might pull up into this. Come on, come on, come on. Your bitches, she look, I'ma smash her. I hop out the coupe like a pastor. I'm killing these niggas disaster. And I got a plug in Nebraska. I'm running this shit, you got asthma. My nigga, my wrist on Alaska. In the cut like a scab. I might pull like a slab. I might bring back the dab. Ain't with doubts on the beat. I gotta get the big bag, trick or treat. Niggas in the beat, I'm shooting pistol beat. Niggas won't smoke, I was listen sweet. I caught me a vine. I caught me a vine. I caught me a vine. Now I'm alive. Now I'm alive. Now I'm alive. I caught me a vine. I caught me a vine. I caught me a vine. Now I'm alive. Now I'm alive. Now I'm alive. Killing shit from the jump. Niggas hate me like Trump. Fuck around, leave you slump. Ballin' on boy like bruh. Y'all niggas better get back. But small fry got big max. 13 slanging that crack. Zeke where I run through sex. None of these niggas ain't close. Keep me a tummy like ghost. MCM on no post. Ghost. Yeah, your bitch wanna dose. Niggas are dying and get what I gross. Whenever I die, I'ma go down this go. Lyrical jeans and study my quotes. When mama had me and when murder she wrote. Whoa, nigga, this shit ain't regular. I get rap, rocks and federal. Put a couple shots in my competitors. Niggas wrote me out like an editor. Then I came back with a black bag, round tat tat, burn rub in the scat pack. Got a fat sack in a backpack, a bit with a backpack, put crack where a crack at. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I caught me a vine. I caught me a vine. I caught me a vine. Now I'm alive. Now I'm alive. Now I'm alive. I caught me a vine. I caught me a vine. I caught me a vine. Now I'm alive. Now I'm alive. Now I'm alive.
When you light up, yeah, lights all over you.
All right, we back, man. You know that was Seven the Great with I Caught Me a Vibe. We finna start this show off now with Raise the Vibe. So you know that's why we had to start the show off, with Seven the Great like that, man. Big shout out to Seven the Great, one of South Dallas' finest, man. I call him, man, South Dallas' favorite son. So big shout out, man. Hey, we got Teldrick Morgan in the house with us today. He's been telling us a little bit about some of the things that he's been going through as far as his transitions in life from football to now being his own boss. So we're gonna continue that talk, man, as we raise the vibe and see exactly, how these things actually transpire. Because anytime when you're making transitions in life, it's not easy. You have to actually have, the zeal within yourself to know that you still can and you still will. So, man, Teldrick, man, we back, man. How you doing?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Man, good, man. In this course, we've been talking, man, probably for about, I know, what, maybe 3 years here now.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
Too strong, I know. You know what I mean. But I'm gonna say three. And in the course of this time, man, we've been doing a lot of growth, self growth, and it's been things that we have used along the way that has allowed us to be able to see ourselves better and to help us get where we going. You know what I mean? I know on a regular basis, we share numbers with one another. Like today, uh, I seen 444 and 333. And it's amazing how these things happen. And when we see these things, it's like something that's getting your attention for you to be able to pay attention to yourself and see what's going on within yourself. Like, right now, and sequences are one of those things that allows you to be able to better see yourself or be able to build awareness of yourself. One of the
Right.
biggest things with me, like, I pay attention to nature. I look at the animals, the trees, the different animals, the different trees, and what exactly their meaning, because it comes within my sight at that moment. So, man, like, tell us some of the things, man, that really helped you through this transition as you was working on yourself, knowing a lot of these times, may been people around, but you would potentially feel like you was on your own.
Mm. Like I said, man, we had those conversations, those talks. Just me, just getting it out. Like you always need to have somebody around you that you can confide in. You know what I mean? And you were definitely one of those persons that I can be able to call and talk to. You actually got me aware of angel numbers. Like I had no idea what that was, but we've been on it. We've been on
Yeah.
it for like the last 2 3 years. So I've been seeing 111 a lot, and recently I just been seeing 777 as well. So I feel like I got some good things coming, man. But just staying, just consciously, just being aware of nature, looking at my spiritual numbers, that come about, reading and see what it mean, and just staying consistent on it. You know what I mean? Um, I think the hardest thing in life is people, they find something that they like, but they're not consistent on it,
Right.
and not disciplined on it as well. So me just looking at it day to day, being able, to check my phone. Okay, I got 111, emails, or I got 777 emails. I'm like, okay, the spirits are still on my side. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So I can definitely look forward to that instead of just becoming in the slums, and just being negative and doing things like that. But I also meditate as well. We spoke more about that. You got me on that as well. So just taking everything to the next level, man. Just being aware and just staying disciplined and focused on each and every day.
With
Uh,
inside of that discipline, though, it's like, what is it that I really understand differently now than where I probably would have understood 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Like this is an exercise, whether we know it or not. This is a training, whether we know it or not. But
mhm.
it's a day to day training. Just like if I was physically going to the gym, working out every day, trying to keep my body in shape, but am I doing the essentials to keep my natural state of being, what I mean, in its proper presence, in its proper tense. So that's an
Right,
exercise within itself just as well, and when you're living in this physical realm based off all these conditions around that you can naturally see, then you have to be able to have know how to train yourself to stay aware of yourself in these conditions, to
right,
realize, what I mean, that it's just, it touches nothing but the vehicle, but it doesn't touch me. You know what I mean? But I can
right.
touch all things outside the vehicle. When you begin to understand things on that level, as riddled as it sounds, it's not riddled. You know what I mean? Because it's just me. I have to be in the unraveling of myself every day.
Right.
And this is what we wind up doing. Hey, if y'all again, man, if y'all want to call in, call us, man, y'all can call in. We see we have people that's tuning in. Y'all
Yeah,
can call in.
we've got Nakia Nicole in your chat box. I wanted to say shout out to her. She is very like minded as well, so she's definitely in on what we're talking about. So, Nakia, you should call in, dear. I know you've got some opinions.
What's up, Nikhil Nicole, man? Yeah, she's a real good person, man. She's one of them people, man, who really has this zeal and this drive about really doing something in the community. Man,
Definitely.
I would love for you really to call in when we have Let's Talk Community, if you can, so, man, talk to me, Nikhil. But yeah, bro, this is what it's all about. It's about us, man, raising our vibe and really, not allowing the things in our surrounding to take control. And for us
Hmm.
to realize that we have the control we have of our own lives, and the outcome that we always had can still be the outcome in the end. Just
Right.
it's just a different vehicle that we're driving, that we're taking to get there. So
Right.
when we understand these things, man, then we get better within our walk, and it begins to get easier within our walk. The challenge is going to be challenges, but that's all that it is. It's just a challenge. You know what I mean? But when I begin to start to challenge myself, then the challenges that come doesn't even bother me, because I was already working in challenges. I was already
Right.
strengthening myself in challenges. This is how we begin to look at ourselves and man, get better within ourselves. Everybody has their own way, and that's what I tell people. Everybody has their own way of doing things, but am I doing it the best way that man meets my need? Not my wants, but meet my need.
Right.
When I understand that I'm doing the essentials to meet my needs, and everything else I already have, it's just a natural thing. It just naturally come, and this is what we begin to do. Like, man, you look at 3 years of working, just talking and dialoguing, and man, cheering each other on and holding each other accountable, and then look at where it was and where it is now, and that's in both of our lives.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been drastic, transitions, man, that we're able to talk about, and things that we're being able to do now compared to when, at those moments. And not even to say that those moments was bad moments, because they wasn't. They was just at a different it was just at a different space, in a different, and now we're in a different space now, but it looks a whole lot better. It's a whole lot clearer vision. And that's just because, man, you do the added to work of that, you know what I mean?
Sure. No, I
Man,
definitely agree on that one.
so, man, coaching though, tell me about it, man. Like, now you the mentor. You have children under you now. How you feel about that?
It's different. It's you're not on the field, but what I can say is it still gives you the same drive. You know what I mean? Because you're just so determined to help those kids just go out there and be able to perform and just teach them everything that you know. So it's definitely different from that aspect. Um, but like I said, man, I would have never thought in a million years that this was one of the things I was going to be doing, because I had no interest in it at first. But the more you get around something, the more you like it. Um, and then it's just, okay, this is part of my daily life. Uh, I still love football. You know what I mean? I still love helping people at the end of the day, no matter who it is. You know what I mean? And I feel like I can take it to the next level, man. I feel like it's cool, definitely.
So, man, you feel that you're gonna add the value into these children.
For
And that's one of
sure.
the biggest things that, our job is to do, man. When I'm in a position to be able to mentor others, especially children. As being older man, or an older person, then it means that you've had some sense of more miles that you've walked. You've seen more things than what they have naturally seen at those times. So you have an opportunity to be a great guide. A person that can take children on a tour in life, that, man, they actually see the things that they need to see, but actually see it without the harm.
Right.
And this is what it's all about, and actually being able, man, to, allow people to travel to the destination in which they're trying to get to safely. you know,
Sure.
uh, and, man, that's what coaching allows us to be able to do, and be able to, man, have these moments that you can look back and say, I remember when it was like this, and now, I see the transition. I see the light over this child, or this person, in this new wave that they're in. It gives you much joy to realize that, man, you was just being a great service. you know uh,
And that's what it's all about. You know, that's what it is when, you know, when you elevating yourself, you can do nothing else but elevate another.
Right.
You know, it's just, it's divine order. You know what I mean? So it makes all the sense in the world. So again, man, we still shooting the shout outs, you know what I mean? We're going to go to a quick break, but if you want to be able to call in, again, call in 469-708-8609.
And speaking of, we've actually got someone again in the chat box, and please, you guys, ask us any kind of questions you got. Let us know you're here. But we have Jack. He's asking, when you're attempting to raise your vibe, what things could you do in the daily to assist him with that?
First, what's going on, Jack? How you doing, man? That's actually man, the co-host, man. You know, he got a little bit sick and under the weather, but he'll be with us next week. Ask me that question again, Kat.
So he asks, when attempting to raise our vibe, what things could I do daily to assist me?
I can tell you me, right? One of the things that I do is that I understand that I'm my own individual, so I want to be on my own channel. So what does that mean? It means that, man, I'm going to, like music, for instance, I'm going to listen to particular music that I like that actually makes me feel good all the time, you know. So it's like on YouTube, I have my own playlist. That playlist is music that I actually went through and made for me that actually keep me in a particular vibration. People say that, well, it's been said that the first thing that you hear within the first 10 minutes of your day has the greatest chance of, you know, to make the biggest impression on your day. So as soon as I wake up, I listen to a song that actually motivates me. And that song is called Winning Season. So outside of that, then it's just going through I cleanse myself, you know, like I give you a day-to-day, for instance, I give you my morning regimen, right? I wake up in the morning, I play my music. I listen to my music as I'm brushing my teeth, cleaning my face and all this stuff. You know, I'm going through my cleansing time. I'm keeping aware of myself, cleansing myself. After I get through cleansing myself, you know, I begin to sage, and I sage myself, and then I go into the mirror and have a talk with myself about, you know, how I feel, you know, waking up and, man, going out today, and then what I look to see of myself, and even come back to be able to greet myself again. Being able to constantly keep yourself aware of yourself and keeping yourself at a high vibration allows you to be able, man, to set a good tone for your day. So that's one of the ways that I do it.
I like that. I like that answer. I think we should go to a break on that answer.
Let's go to a quick break and we'll be right back.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game. I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game. I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game. I met a gypsy and she hit me to some
Since
life game.
I was a small fry, knew I had big dreams. Chase him like a rookie after championship rings. Mama told me diamonds from the hardest to bedrock. And if I wanted to glow up, had to polish my spirit clean. You ain't made for all patterns, taste comes acquired. You can't copy and paste, they'll control or erase your profile at the base. Get that check as if good faith been retired. Keep us silent while we serve as inspiration for higher absurd. I come from tribal women, gold fronted and baby herd. A running our tennis is a minor to may disturb. For the world without innards, gave them housing between the curves. Now the public tenants think they're entitled to the reserves. That's a negative, like I'm overdrafted. Access to my assets, legislated and passed this. Craft got me teaching dudes class like the praxis. Cause they've been trying me and my sojourners just for practice. Whole globe spinning on my double X axis. Graphite tinted grandmothers in the ashes. I'm the phoenix flinging winged prayers for my passages. Resurrecting fully blown dreams from the fractions. Rock.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Yes, ma'am.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Okay.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
I did.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
One day.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Yes, ma'am.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Okay.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
I did.
I met a gypsy gypsy and she hit me to some life
Everything
game.
I am been diagram, blueprinted and planned. Yet everybody throw it, they too shit in the can. Lot of treasure had to get off my chest so I'd expand. And hot light is a feather and art a firebrand. No apologies necessary, qualified as a band. This is God level, judgment is out humanity's hands. Got a fan base admire my touch from the promised land. I'm tough and clutching my freedom to bust like a talisman. F your respectability, efforts to police me. I'm from where the sharp tongue and neck rolling chief speak. Learn to run with wolves in case a shice try to fleece me. Got ice water veins from broken life, promise CC. Met a gypsy with some door knockers and a quartz rock cross, a true risk. Said the temple turned to a fortress cause the cost of worship too risky. Spit a universe out the mouthpiece and it seeds out my uterus. Never had a table seat so I'm chasing bread like it's sacred called the Eucharist. Every spoken word invoke women battered but never broken. It's that sharecropping hatchet toting poetry in motion. This is transatlantic echoes off the floors of salted oceans. Make me a living portrait of my sister's voices for the culture.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Yes, ma'am.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Okay.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
did.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
One day.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Yes, ma'am.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Okay.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
did.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
One day.
All right, man, we back, man. That was a song, man, from Ciroc, man. That's one of my my hot artists right now, you know what I mean, that's out that I listen to. And she pretty dope. Y'all want to probably go check out, man. Her name is Ciroc. Man, we're gonna go right now, man. We finna switch over for a minute, Teldrick, man. We finna go to Let's Talk Community. Let's Talk Community. It's all about, man, what it is that we want to be able to see in our communities. How do we want it to look? What's going on, you know? And how can we make these things better, you know? So this is what we all about right now, man. We switching it over, the tone a little bit, and we're gonna go into Let's Talk Community. What we did do, before going to the show, man, we had raised some questions, and we had some people, man, that had gave us their input on those questions. So, man, we're gonna go ahead and allow y'all in a little bit. I gotta get to it though, so you know we all live, y'all. Y'all know that, don't you? So we ain't got no time to be trying to you know, man, be fraudulent with it or anything like that. It is what it is. One of the first questions that we had asked, let me get to it. It was if there was anything you like to see in your community change, what would it be? We had one person, man, they contacted us and they let us know. They said more accessible, free, or reduced cost legal assistance programs. In addition to that, currently in place that has, I don't know what that is, y'all how it's put. But what they ultimately had said, they said they want to see more accessible, free, reduced cost of legal assistance and programs in the community. And let's talk about it a little bit. Me personally, I believe we don't have enough free stuff in the community. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest reasons why our community begins to go down, you know, because it has too many things that's being given and not enough things that has been done upon our own shoulders. When you look at things like right now, what's going on in today's time with, like, you know, we seeing regentrification happen right in front of us in our own neighborhood. And it's like, what is it that we're doing or what can we do? You know, when you've been based on a system that has been always giving you government aid or anything of these natures, then, you know, you pretty much putting yourself in a situation where, you know, it's a puppet master. You know, so a lot of things I believe that we need to do. Oh, we got a caller. Caller, man. Call in. We got a caller. Who's the caller?
Oh, yeah. This is OG Big J.
What's going on, Jay, man? What's going on, bro?
Hey, man, I was calling in to support the big train, man, the transition, man. And guess what I just left? I just left the lighthouse, man. I'm going to send you a picture of it.
Oh, man, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, we right now. What you got going on, man? We right now, man, in the middle of Let's Talk Community. I know you've been out here active in the community, man. What's going on with you?
Oh, yes, sir, man. Just trying to stay, you know, active with these kids, you know, trying to start with the seeds You know, 'cause I know according to what we how we water these seeds is kind of how they come out. I remember they had a program. You remember when they called it weed and seed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's our job to help weed out the generational curse, conversation and speech and everything that everybody done put on that. We got to weed that out and then plant righteous seeds and bring light, not darkness. You know, I learned that from a great man.
Right. I mean, that's one of the things that we have to do. It's like, you know, in life, man, I can say for myself, I ain't always did the right thing. But in end result, I realized that was the right thing because it taught me better. You know, so when you get to the point now when you realize I've accepted my learnings and I'm not willing to, you know, I don't choose to learn something in an old way no more. Now I'm at a position where I can teach that to another. You see what I'm saying? And that's where we at now in life. We done got to a point now to where when it comes back to giving back, we only can give back because, man, we was ones who saw ourselves as being someone who took away from it. So these children, man, it's important when you grow up in an era. And I just had this conversation with someone yesterday, and I asked, how do life really look when you have went through over 3 to 4 decades of women raising all the children? That means that the women raise all the women and all the men. So you have to understand when you have these things, but it happens, true enough that they can raise a child because they're an adult. You can raise a child. You can take that child on that tour of life, right? But when it comes down to now that child becoming grown and older, now that young girl is a woman, and now that young boy is a man, that young boy needs a man to be able to take him on the man tours of life. That young woman needs a woman to be able to take her on that woman tour in life. And when you have so much of been missed, you know, as far as from a man point of view, now we have to begin to come back and step into those roles to be able to take these men, these young boys, on this tour of manhood.
Yeah, that's so true.
I mean, you know, it's like if we don't grab them by the hem now, you know, then will we ever stop? We can't stop something, but you can reduce something. You can slow some things down, right? You can slow down the rate that we go into the prison system. You can change the rate that our young girls begin to be molested or raped. You can reduce or slow these things down if you begin to put yourself back in the helm and where you belong, you know, as a man. So, you know,
Yes, sir.
being doing the work in the community, man, being man, a light, man, it's important, you know. And my hats out to you, man, because I've been, you know, a lot of people been used to seeing us in the same places at the same time. But here lately, man, you know, we talked about it amongst ourselves that, you know, we're gonna have to branch off in order that we can begin to, you know, to cover more ground. And being able to see you, man, still go out here and do that, man, I applaud you for it, bro.
And I applaud you for it too, bro. You know, you done planted some good seeds with me. I can remember us going at it like the principal and superintendent on lean on me. So we'll go back and forth, but the end result, we both want the best for us and want the best for our community and for the children. And even for the adults who've already here who don't know any better. Because I feel in my heart, even a lost person don't want to be lost. They just having trouble being found.
Yeah, yeah.
So our job is, you know, to help lead them to the light. Because, I mean, we're always going to be surrounded by darkness, but we got to go toward the light.
I mean, you know, sometimes it's like, you know, look at it like this. If a blind seed was in the ground, you know, and trying to climb up, it's a potential that it was climbing down, right? It was digging down
so
rather
true.
than digging up because it was already, you know what I mean, in a dark place. So you got to realize sometime, man, you know, loss is just a matter of shifting in mindset. It's just a shift in them.
Yeah.
You know, that's as easy as it gets as changing directions. You know, from being to putting yourself in a position of being found. You know, I tell people all the time, you know, if you really want to be seen, you got to reach the highest altitude of yourself so you can be seen. There's
Man.
a great difference from having a star mind and a grounded thoughts, because
Man.
the stars don't think like the ground do.
Yo, don't.
There's no way possible. You know what I mean? So
Man,
when you
that's true fact.
so when we begin to understand some of these things, and realize, that, man, when you star seeds, man, you do star seeds thing. And that means that, man, you're always reaching for the stars. And how do that look? That means touching your vision. You know, grounded thoughts, man, are always trampled over. It's always chaos, it's always cluttered. It's always in these darkened states, with no light in order to be able to allow you to be able to see things. So, man, it's not taking something in a negative form, but but what it is doing is putting light in our form. You know what I mean? Because you have to realize, if I cut off all the lights right now, if it was dark, you can still naturally see something. It's just not to the likeness of what you would like to see it. You see what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I'm used to operating in a brighter content. So, but you have to understand, where do seeds grow? I can't put a seed on top of the ground and think it's gonna grow. If I place it inside of the dirt, then it has the greatest opportunity to grow. You see what I'm saying? So these things are needed, man, and we have to understand how they needed and balance. Man, we got another call. Jay, I appreciate you calling in, bro. We got another call calling in, so, man, we're gonna let you go, man, and, man, stay tuned, man, and keep in with the show, bro.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to stay tuned in to y'all, bro. Stay light working.
Always.
All right.
Caller, next caller, talk to us. The caller that just hung up, man, we don't know who you are by name, but hey, we'll love you to call back again. You know what I mean? And let us, man, share with us, man. But nah, Teldrick, man, we still talking. We still talking about Let's Talk Community, man. What are some of the things, man, that you've been seeing yourself, in your community that probably need a deal or change? Okay, we got a call come back in. Caller.
Train, it's Nikia Nicole. How are ya?
Hey, I'm good, Nikia. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. I am so enlightened by you bringing on someone talking about NFTs and stuff like that. I'm old school. I don't understand it all, but just by him talking for 5 minutes, I'm interested and I'm writing my notes. But what I want to say about community is that housing is one of the most important things that we address it and then we run away from it. Mm-hmm. But housing is the cornerstone to stability. Mm-hmm. And I really feel as a community, we need to address housing as an overall issue, because I'm a fourth generation that doesn't know how to buy a house. Mm-hmm. But every time I go to a realtor and say my credit score is 580, they run away. Mm-hmm. But I need that lesson. I need that knowledge. So we need to have more people that are each one teach one. Yeah, you could be balling in the mix, but help me too, brother, right, sister, right, brown, black, Lebanese, Chinese. Help me understand the money market so I can be a homeowner as well. I don't want to die and leave my kids an apartment. I want to leave them some generational wealth. That would be a home.
That's real strong what you said, Nikhil, man, because that's important. And that's kind of like what I was just hitting around and saying that, man, we have already we received enough things free. But the one thing that's always going to be for us, man, is learning. And it's right, it's just wanting to put ourselves around the right people and put ourselves, around those things that we're genuinely, adamant about learning about. And especially when you're talking about in low income areas and things like that, I believe that it is something that needs to happen to teach us how to go back to owning, because there was a moment.
I just feel like we're marginalized by what we own. And if you're parking a Corvette in front of an apartment, that doesn't look right in my own ghetto hip hop mind. It looks cool, but that I don't want to go to the grave and all I left my kids was a Corvette. I want to leave them something.
Right. And that's something that we have to begin to start to teach, is, man, freedom, in every aspect, in every sense. Financial freedom.
Financial freedom.
For one,
I worked for the man since 1995, and let me tell you something. Every year, as I get closer to when I can retire at 65, I keep saying to myself, I want to work for myself. I'm a business-minded person. I've been giving the man the ideas for 25 years. Why not give those ideas to myself?
And that's one
To
of the
my
things that
community.
we want to do here. You know, we want to be able to offer some of these like programs, and not even just people who can help, you know, organizations that can help, and lead people in the directions in which they really want to be able to go to get them where they actually see themselves at. And man, entrepreneurship is very key that a lot of us have ran away from and put ourselves in a world of where all we knew was work, 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 and get, you know, and have somebody give me a percentage of that work and never being able to get the full 100% of it. You know,
Right.
so I believe that that's something that we really do need to be able to teach into our community, so we can get back to that point. Because I'm one that's of an age that I can remember that there was a time when I knew a lot of black-owned businesses in what considered to be low-income areas, and now
Right.
all those things have, like in just decades, just dramatically shifted. So that is something that if we want to be able to see growth, that we have to begin to add that type of value to ourselves and into our people.
And that's why whenever I post my journey between car buying. If that's, I find someone that's capable, come on my timeline and check, guys. If you need a car for $2,500 and you're getting your income tax, don't go sign up to get a car loan. Buy something for cash so you can put the rest of that money in your pocket.
Right.
And build some wealth at home, because that's what we do. We're about to get hood rich, right? Because your income tax coming. Why don't we sign up with this guy and get our NFT started? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's do something this year. Make 2022 count. Let's get on assignment, man. I mean, that's the one thing that's coming in my mind. Bishop Omar Jawar told me there's an assignment for you, and it's coming up to the anniversary of his death, March the 11th. And I want to make sure that I and other people that are like-minded get on assignment, because that's what we need to do. Be on purpose and be on assignment. I love you, brother. You're doing amazing work. I'll talk to y'all guys later.
And
Love
thank you
you,
for calling
Nakia.
in. Love you too.
Love y'all.
So we have a few more people in our chat box, Train. Let me see here. We've got Sleepy J Fitzpatrick Jr. saying, hey, what's up?
What's up, Sleepy?
Jack, is there a difference between community activists and community leaders? And which one are you? That's a really great question. And before you answer that, leading up to Nakia, Jack said, Nakia, reach out to Mission Bridges CC Evans. So maybe Nakia, get with Jack. Maybe he can get you
I
a
was
house.
just gonna say that to her too. That when it comes to entrepreneurship, and that's anybody that's out here listening, man. If it's come down to entrepreneurship and it's something that you really want to do, and you really don't know where to go or anything like that, I would advise you, man, to look up Mission Bridges. Mission Bridges is actually a program that I've even gone through myself, and I'm taking coaching classes on entrepreneurship, and it's been dramatically, man, of change for me in my business and everything, and in the growth of it. So if it really is something you want to do,
So what is Mission Bridges?
Mission Bridges is a nonprofit organization that actually that is based around helping people find their own niche into the entrepreneurship
Wow.
world.
Nice. Okay. Well, thank you, Jack, and thank you, Train. We also have Dumaine checking in, and Leonard Stokes.
What's
So,
going on, man?
Thank you, guys.
Dumaine, that's a good friend of mine out of Louisiana. He's one of them hottest producers that I know, work with a lot of hot artists and things like that, man. So I appreciate you, man, checking in, bro. Leonard, man, how you doing? Been a long time. I ain't seen you since you done left the States, man, but it's good hearing from you. What was that question again Jack had?
So Jack asks, is there a difference between community activist and a community leader, and which one are you?
I would say there's a difference, but in times that they have the same role. You know, as for myself, I would consider myself as being more of a community activist. And I say that because I'm active in my community, and I'm active because it's intentional on me, looking at myself and looking at the things in which how I have been, and me seeing myself on how it is that I can now give back to what I know that it was a moment in life that I took from that. So in return now, I try to do my best in giving back to that, you know, and being someone that can be seen in a different light, because when you understand that you're no different, you know, you just chose something to be able to do different. And when you begin to do that and you stand up for that, man, those people around you who actually knew you will see you, you know, and you can still now be, you know, someone, man, that they can turn to for where it probably been something that, you know, that was left, then they can turn to you for something that's right. So for me, I would say a community activist. But as far as leadership is something that's totally different, because there's a lot of people that's in community leader roles that's not leaders. You know, it's just a tag that they hold, but it's not something that they it's not something that they uphold as an individual or as a human. So when it comes down to a community leader, that's different, because that's someone who actually leads by the example, you know, and places himself there in the same conditions and struggles, not one that just talks about it, but actually, man, you see in the trenches with those people at all times. You know, you have to be able to lead by example in all that you do, but also be willing to be publicized in that matter, you know, not caring what comes with that.
Great answer. Maybe we should go to a break on that.
And we'll be right back. We're finna go to another break, man, and we'll be right back.
I can go far, I can go far, I can go far. Hold my name. I can go far. Many sun, many moon, seas unchanged, gray skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live, everybody gotta die. Same thing to make you laugh, it's the same thing to make you cry. Spent many years in the field, going to war for my name. Plenty nights, got lost in the rain. I can't complain, it wouldn't help anyway. Gotta take the good with the bad, gotta turn the bad into good. Ain't what it seems, but it should. Hard day living, children dying, father leaving, mothers crying, family turning on their own. Baby too weak, be strong. Lady too soft, be hard. Then you gotta finish what you start. Say, many sun, many moon, seas unchanged, gray skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live, everybody gotta die. The same thing to make you laugh, it's the same thing to make you cry. Many sun, many moon, seas unchanged, gray skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live, everybody gotta die. Same thing to make you laugh, it's the same thing to make you cry. Waiting in the wall, looking for a lead to the other side. Gotta pray hard, When I got God standing on my side, I can go far, Stuck in my thoughts, or to my pride, like I got faith. Hating my name, trials and tribulations, facing time, got me at pace and heart rate. Ain't nobody there when I really need them. It's crazy. Used to be the talk, I don't hear a word. It's so quiet. That's so crazy. Many sun, many moon, seas unchanged, gray skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live, everybody gotta die. The same thing to make you laugh, it's the same thing to make you cry. Many sun, many moon, seasons change, gray skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live, everybody gotta die. The same thing to make you laugh, it's the same thing to make you cry. Spent many years in the field, going to war for my name. Plenty nights, Had a loss in the rain, I can't complain. It wouldn't help anyway. Gotta take the good with the bad. Gotta turn the bad into good. It ain't what it seems, but it should. Hard day living, children dying, father leaving, mothers crying. Family turning on their own. Baby too weak to be strong. Lady too soft to be hard. Then you gotta finish what you start.
And we're back on the Transition Talk Show. That was Marcus Mack with Many Moons. Shout out to Marcus Mack, one of Dallas' own, man. You know, man, he really is, to me, one of a lyrical genius, man. He's been able to transition his music in so many different ways, and also be able to help people within the music industry just as well. So, man, a shout out again, man, to Marcus Mack, and that song was Many Moons. Man, we're getting close to the end of the show. I just want to be able to thank all you guys who've been tuning in. Realize that, we back every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., the Transition Talk Show. Next week, look forward to meeting the co-host, Jack Brown. He used to be in the studio with us live just as well. And then I always know y'all can call in, man. This show right here, we want to be able to contact with you, man, reach out, and, man, share inside of the dialogue. It's not always about it being one-sided. You know, that's never a good in anything that you do. You want to be able to know that you had a part up in it just as well. So here on the Transition Talk Show, man, we want to make sure that, man, you see yourself as one that's been involved just as well as we are. Teldrick, man, appreciate you coming out, man, sharing with us, you know, and telling us, man, about your endeavors and everything you got going on. You know, I want to congratulate you, man, on your new company, on 19 Elite. Man, matter of fact, before we leave, tell people a little bit about that, man, who really trying to look into this entrepreneurship world.
Well, 19 Elite is just a car rental company that I started. Most of my cars is going to be on Turo, and I'm actually going to have private car rentals. Right now, I'm located in the DMV in Maryland, but I will branch out into Atlanta and Houston area. Maybe, you know, we'll have some conversations. I have some cars in Dallas, so all I can say is just stay tuned, man.
Man, all right, man. That's Teldrick Morgan, man. With man, that's my little bro, y'all. At the end of the day, man, I love him to death. You know, we motivate each other. You know, we push each other, and to see him doing the things that he's doing, man, it really makes me feel good. And to be able to know that, you know, we following in good footsteps behind one another and doing the work that we need to be doing out here. So again, y'all, man, this is the Transition Talk Show. I appreciate you guys for coming out and tuning in. Next week, we will be here. Hey, remember that you can go over to YouTube and you'll be able to catch it on YouTube at the Transition Talk Show. And, man, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Until next week, man, one love.